Hello, my name is Mike Johnson. I'm showing you this 2019 Tesla Model 3 with a mid-range battery, which is better than the standard range. It's got the upgraded battery, still under warranty from Tesla. Tesla warranty can easily go up to 120,000 miles. This has nowhere near that. Eligible for government cash to help you pay for the car, like federal tax credits and other money. Watch this whole video. I'm going to explain how the government will send you money if you buy this car. If your friends and neighbors probably have bought electric cars and they didn't get money because they didn't know about it. But if you watch the video, you'll know about it. So you won't miss out on that government cash. And these are the original stock Tesla wheels. I have a lot of questions about that. These are the wheels that come stock on the Model 3. But when they come from Tesla, they have hubcaps on them. The hubcaps are not on this one. Instead, it's got a center cap and wheel lug covers. If you don't want it to look like this, you want it to have this hubcaps over the wheels, they are available and they can be put on. Let us know if that's a big deal. It may cost extra to get those, but they're not that expensive. So, but most people that I've talked to like it like this. What is your preference? So this is eligible for the carpool HOV stickers and government money. Now the carpool sticker program, if you're hoping to get carpool stickers, the whole program may be expiring at the beginning or the end of 2025. So that might not be a big benefit for you, but the gas savings and the government money, even on a used one, yes, you can buy a used one. I'm going to show you. And there's literally $20,000 in government programs in most zip codes in California. If you're not in California, you're still eligible for the $4,000 federal tax credit. And we have written confirmation. Yes, we are registered with the IRS. Clean vehicle federal tax credit program. So you can get that $4,000. So this is a Tesla Model 3. Long range, nice car. This is the more expensive red colored paint. It's like a $2,000 premium to get it in this color. It's like a pearl red. It's very clean. I believe that at one point the front bumper was repainted. There is a paint imperfection right there. Looks like a diamond. So that's a paint imperfection on this one. That's like the only one that I can point out. The tires are really good. Pirelli. This is a Pirelli as well. Pirelli. All tires match. They have excellent tread. You looks like you have 80% or more remaining tread across all the tires. It has brakes because the wheel hubcaps aren't in there. You can see the brakes are in really good condition. They look like the brake pads are almost new in there, but are they possibly the original ones? Okay, that old gas guzzler car you used to have, remember how it got the wheels all dirty when you drove in the mountains because the brakes would get all covered with brake dust? That doesn't happen on a Tesla because it uses a technology called regenerative braking. As you let off the gas and apply the brakes, it uses the electric motors that make the car go fast as electric generators to recharge the battery to save that energy for later. So instead of getting the brakes all dirty, you save that energy in the battery. That's one of the reasons why these cars get really good range compared with cars that didn't, like a Nissan Leaf or Fiat 500 or Toyota RAV4. You know, the Toyota RAV4 EV was powered by Tesla battery and drivetrain, but they only got one motor and half a battery, so their range was never as good. They actually had the Model S motor and the Toyota. So Toyota and Tesla have partnered together to build cars like the Toyota RAV4 EV. Look how clean inside. This looks like a car that has about 10,000 or 5,000 miles on it maybe. Look at the front seat. Looks like brand new. Door panels, excellent condition. Steering wheel, excellent. What is the VIN number for this car? Let's take a peek. Always look at the last three digits. The last three digits are 720. That's the VIN number. If you want to check with your insurance and see how much insurance is going to cost if you buy a Tesla, give them that VIN number. How much to insure this? They'll tell you. Later in the video, I'm going to explain about government programs, how not to get ripped off. There's a lot of dealers will literally buy a car and put it for $2,000 less than they paid advertised price. In other words, if they sell it at advertised price, they lose $2,000. But then they add $8,000 in hidden markup, so they're actually marking the car up $8,000, and you think you're getting it for $2,000. Smoke and deal. Watch the whole video, learn more about these pitfalls so that you can avoid them. I folded the seat to let more light in. Tesla has a huge trunk in the Model 3 and additional storage down below. It's a very spacious trunk. Look, we could still seat 3 people in the car, and you've got trunk space for something long. The seats fold down, and then you can put stuff in the trunk. This one is really clean. Tesla is one of the best selling, probably the best selling brand of car in the world, and it has been for several years now, since about 2018. This is a 2019. One of the reasons is if you buy a Tesla off the Tesla website, you're not getting the salesman adding all those thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in junk fees that you don't need to pay. I showed you the trunk. There's a trunk in the front too, because there's no engine in the front. It's even got a little carpeted mat in here which you can take out, and you can put your Thanksgiving turkey and gravy and biscuits and everything, or your fast food order, or Instacart. If you're on a diet but you're delivering for Instacart or something like that and you don't want to smell the food, you could put that up front. This is a nice clean car. Government is willing to pay more than half of the price of the car, up to $17,000 to $20,000 or possibly more, depending where you live, in incentives. I'm going to talk about that. Keep watching. For now, we're going to go on a test drive. So we're inside. We're going to go on a test drive. We're going to click the software button, and then your VIN number is right there. The last 3 digits again is 720. 78,000 miles. That's nothing. Cars these days, this car may last 500,000 miles if you take care of it the way the previous owner did. Hybrid battery. It doesn't have hybrid, but it has an electric battery and electric motors. They don't get the same kind of wear and tear. They don't have all the moving parts of a gasoline engine. So if you take good care of the car, it could really last a long time. And because you can qualify for all these cash incentives, which, keep watching the video and I'm going to get to the end and talk about that, at a very low cost to acquire. So we're going to go on a test drive. Mid-range Tesla. Hit the gas pedal. It accelerates strongly. And if you're doing something really stupid, your neighbors, they can't hear you because it's an electric car. this Tesla has autopilot. There's no extra charge to use autopilot. Autopilot is a traffic aware cruise control with steering assist as an option. It works really well if you have lane lines. If your lane lines are in good order, you turn on the cruise control, and this car is almost full self-driving. Now, if you want full self-driving, that's like a Tesla where your 80-year-old grandma is driving you from A to B. You say, "Grandma, let's go from A to B." And grandma says, "Okay." And you let go of the steering wheel and the car drives for you. The newer Teslas have that, including this one, but it's a software package, which costs extra, $99 a month. Or you can pay up front like $8,000 and they'll give it to you. I have callers all the time, OCD about it. I want the full self-driving car with the included package of full self-driving. That's like looking for a unicorn. And then once you have the unicorn, what you're gonna do with it? It's literally, I don't think it's worth it myself, but it gives you bragging rights. My car has it. But this car has it if you pay the software fee. See these blue solid lines? We have traffic aware cruise control. I'm holding the steering wheel, but the car is doing the self-driving. It's going for the speed limit right now, and it's watching the yellow stripe in the middle of the road and maintaining my lane position. I'm not having to think about it much, except that I'm approaching a red light. I'm going to turn on my turn signal and apply. I'm actually not even applying the brakes. I'm using the what they call one pedal drive. Have you ever had a stick shift car that you've ridden in or drove? Many people these days don't know how to drive stick, but stick shift cars have a clutch. One pedal drive, when you let off the gas, it feels kind of like a stick shift car in that the engine or motor is slowing you down. That's regenerative braking, saving your energy for later. It works really well, and you can adjust that in the settings if you want it more or less or none. But I think it's a really good system. It gives you the feel of driving a stick shift, but you never have to shift gears. There's no transmission. How about maintenance on a Tesla? What do you have to do for maintenance? Well, you want to rotate the tires. You want to check the tire pressures. It has a tire gauge built into the computer. It'll show you what your pressure is right on the screen. So if you have a low tire, don't wait till the warning light comes on. Set the tire pressure right away. Maybe you have a nail if your warning light is on. I can tell you for a fact, your neighbors that live around you, none of them take care of their tires. Their cars are literally unsafe and they feel terrible to drive because their tire pressures are all wrong. I'm sure you're taking care of your tires, but your neighbors are not. But whoever had this car, they took really good care of the tires, and probably it helped because the tire pressures were right there on the screen. If it was low, it told you which tire is low. So the tires look great. I already showed you those. We've concluded our little test drive and demonstration of autopilot cruise control. So we'll pull into the parking spot here. Look, it can see, look, it sees the person walking on the screen. There's a person walking and it sees them. They're getting in the truck. The computer knows. That's the autopilot computer is aware. The air conditioning is working good. You have adjustable settings for air conditioning. You have automatic heated seats, all kinds of cool stuff. If you're curious about charging and all that, I talk about that coming up. You can schedule a light show. You've got features in here that you can do. All kinds of horsing around that you can do with your car. Video games, all sorts of entertainment capabilities to entertain yourself with the vehicle. So as we get out, one more look around the car, and then we're gonna get on with telling you about government programs, about charging the vehicle, how not to get ripped off by other dealers and things like that. Very, very clean Tesla Model 3 mid-range. So now we're going to talk about charging your plug-in vehicle. On the left is a Tesla Model 3. On the right is a Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrid. This one is gas plus electric. This one is electric only. So the electric plug on a Tesla is a different shape than the electric plug on other vehicles. Now some manufacturers like Ford, for example, and we have a Ford level 1-2 charger right here. Notice there's a plug right here. You can plug in one of the adapters into it. The same thing applies for a Tesla plug. The Tesla has a plug, and you can choose the type of power for your house. So a level 1 or 2 adapter supports either 50 amp, which the plugs look like this, these are big, or your regular plug like you might plug in a toaster in your kitchen or vacuum cleaner or something. This is the Ford 50 amp and the Ford 110. Now they have this safe adapters, so all you do is plug this into your charger depending on the type of outlet you have. So the 110 outlet, like you might plug a toaster in, these will charge between 3 to 5 miles of driving, 3 to 5 miles of charging miles per hour to your battery. If you plug in the more powerful 50 amp or 40 amp 240 adapters, it'll add about 30 or sometimes more miles of driving per hour of charging. Alternately, if you go to a supercharger, here's a picture of a supercharger, you can use an adapter. Using the adapter that has either this type of connector or this type of connector, there's one for each direction. You can plug in a Tesla at any other type of charger, or you can plug in any other type of plug-in vehicle at a Tesla charger. They're interchangeable if you have the adapter, which let's say they cost about $100. So this is the Ford charger. This is a really nice charger because this is the Ford level 1 or level 2 charger that uses those adapters. It'll plug into and charge other vehicles like this Chrysler, and because it's level 2 capable, it'll charge it faster than a level 1. Remember, on level 2 it'll charge 30 more or less miles of driving per hour of charging. So if you leave it plugged in for 10 hours on level 2, 30 times 10 is 300 miles of driving, possibly, depending on the capacity of the battery. Likewise on the Tesla, if you plug in the Tesla charger, which is over here, looks like this. It looks very different, but it plugs in to the Tesla. Now they have adapters from Tesla to, this is called EVSE, and there's a different version with 2 little prongs underneath. That's DC fast charging, EVSE. But Tesla supports fast charging through the same port. Now normally fast charging is not available at your home. It's only available at a supercharger. If you go to other off-brand non-Tesla chargers, you may not get a fast charge. I see a lot of complaints about the non-Tesla superchargers. Now those 2 chargers I've shown you so far are level 1 or level 2. Here is a Toyota or Honda charger. This is a used one. It has a regular 110 outlet, so it'll charge 3 miles of driving per hour of charging. And sometimes they'll charge up to 5 miles of driving per hour of charging. It's EV-SE type, using an adapter, a regular, like a Toyota or Honda charger, to a Tesla. They plug in and they will charge a Tesla. So if you have the adapter with you, you can charge your Tesla anywhere. Likewise, if you have a Toyota or a Honda or a Chrysler or one of these other types of Ford that uses the EV-SE style charger, if you have the adapter, you can go to a Tesla supercharger and charge your car there. So that's a level 1. These other chargers with 2 adapters plugs will charge level 1 or level 2. If you don't have level 2 in your garage, that's okay. You can charge level 1. So this van is got a gasoline engine and a big hybrid battery. So if you charge it up, it'll go 20-30 miles of electric power before it switches to gas. So you have over here, you have the Tesla, which is battery only. Now beware, some earlier battery only cars like Nissan Leaf, for example, Fiat 500e, they would only go 60, 70, 80 miles on a charge. Even the Toyota RAV4 EV would only go like 90 miles on a charge. And I'm talking about the newer version, which is the 2013 model Toyota RAV4 EV. Wouldn't go that far. It was electric only. If I whip out a calculator here, and I'm going to explain some quick math, that'll go probably 35 miles on a charge times 365. That's 12,000 miles a year. A plug-in hybrid, it depends how often you plug it in on how far you can go. But with a plug-in hybrid, you don't have to plug it in. You can drive on gas only, so you can take your long cross-country trips. As opposed to an electric vehicle, you have to plug it in. Now I'm going to explain how for best practices. Now for best practices, if you have a plug-in vehicle, you're going to get the best result if you charge it every night, or whenever you're not driving, when it's sitting in your driveway or at home or in your garage, whatever, have it plugged in when you're not driving it. In the case of this Tesla, you have an adjustable slider here. You can set your maximum rate of charge, and by default, Tesla shows you on the graphic here, they recommend charge it up to 80% for daily use. And then if you're plugging it in every night, the cycles on the battery aren't going to be that much. So at the current location, it can charge at 32 amps, but this is adjustable. You can charge it more, maybe less. Depends on the power capability where you know you're plugged into and it remembers. If you live in an apartment, you're going to have a different experience than if you live in a house or someplace safely where you can safely plug it in every night. You're going to have the best experience if you plug it in every night, even to a 110 outlet. Even if you don't have the 240, that's okay, because if this car is charging at 5 miles of driving times, say 12 hours a day, half the day, it's building up 60 miles of driving. Now if you drive more miles on one day or less miles on another day, it depends on your commute. If you have a longer than 60-mile daily commute, probably by the weekends it'll catch up on your daily charging, even if you only charge it on a 110. But if you have the level 2 connector in your garage or your driveway, it'll charge in 5 hours from empty to flat, typically on most of these full electric Teslas. But regardless if you're charging a Tesla or a plug-in hybrid, you want to charge it every night for best results. Let's say you live in an apartment and you're thinking about getting a Tesla and you have nowhere to plug it in. How would you handle it? For best result in that case, you should probably get the extended range version. There's standard range, medium range, and extended range versions that drive a little bit farther, hold a little bit more charge in the battery, and then with that you can run it all the way down to 10%, and by that time Tesla says if you run it below 20% and you go to a supercharger and fast charge it, it'll charge to 80% in 20 minutes roughly. Not all chargers are created equal. Tesla even gives a tips screen. Look right here, supercharging tips. When we tap on that, find the fastest supercharger, navigate to the supercharger, arrive with 20% of the battery or less to maximize the charging rate, leave space between the cars, move your car after charging, and it's possible that water vapor could occur in cold weather because of the radiant heat. Those are the supercharging tips. Now compare that to this plug-in hybrid. This plug-in hybrid has a gasoline engine and a battery. So this one doesn't give you the same type of range anxiety that you might have with an electric car. Generally, Teslas don't give you the same kind of range anxiety that you would have had with an older electric car like a Nissan Leaf or Fiat 500e. These are longer range, full capable cars that you may not even have to take to a outside charger away from your house, not very often, unless you have an incredibly ridiculously long commute. And if you do, what are you driving all over the place for with so many people working from home? At A Buyer's Choice, we offer you clean deals without junk fees. We are a by appointment warehouse type dealer where most of our cars are kept indoors. You can make a same or next day appointment by calling by phone. Be careful about just sending an email or text, because for other dealers, you will just reduce yourself from a person to only a lead for a salesperson to pursue until you sign your future income away. Also, most dealers have hidden fees and costs that are added to the advertised sale price that you might not find out about until you are ready to sign. I prefer that you call us between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. so you can be treated like a person and we can answer your questions for you quickly and politely. So you don't get ripped off by another dealer, you should follow a few steps from this checklist, and you can pause the video or take a screenshot of your computer screen. Here's a safety checklist so you don't get ripped off. I will, if you ask, give you a good faith estimate of your total cost out the door for any vehicle you are pursuing from our dealership, because we offer clean deals. When you go to a dealership, they have to make you sign a contract for the purchase of a vehicle. Now, before you go to a dealership, you should ask for a purchase order quoting all fees and costs. What you have to watch out for, and this is just a simple, this is a payment calculator, but this shows cash price vehicle and accessories. You have to watch out for that. These contracts, this is a simple purchase order that we at A Buyer's Choice can send you before you even come to the dealership, so you know how much your total of payment is going to be before you even arrive. Or you can even ask for a simple contract, which would identify any interest rates or anything like that. A lot of dealerships use different types of contracts. This is a simple interest contract, simple interest finance charge contract. This is a 2006 version. Notice this is a 2022 version. Look how much longer it is. They keep adding text and lines. These contracts get longer and longer. It's about 24 inches long. If you're given a long contract, that's fine. But where you really have to pay attention to is total cash price. Includes line 1, cash price vehicle, cash price accessories. A lot of dealers are adding $8,000 in accessories, from undercoating to Scotch Guard, all types of security devices that aren't even the factory alarm system, that may not be of any value to you, but they add $8,000 or more in accessories added to the cash price. So when you look at the advertised price, which is the price of the vehicle, you think you're getting a good deal, but when you're sitting at the desk, you're paying all this extra stuff. And look how many lines there are of stuff to add on, and 2 columns to add on. And then you have places all over the place to sign. Now these long form contracts are also printed on both sides. So if you're going to take your time to read this, I can tell you, if you go to a dealership and they fill out this contract for you, they're not going to let you take it home and read it. They're going to be like, this is the deal here and now. At a buyer's choice, we're a little different. We'll give you your purchase order, quoting you out the door before you even come and visit the dealership, saving you a lot of time. These other dealerships, you're going to sit in there for 8 hours haggling. Right here it says total cash price A through O, might appear all the way down here. And then there's license fees, registration fees, tire fees. Those things can be added on. Total official fees, emissions, it keeps adding up. So a lot of people end up at the dealership, they look at a $20,000 car, and before they're ready to leave, it's actually $60,000 total of payments. And they're tired, they sign because they don't want to go home empty-handed after they've already invested an entire weekend, and then they feel bad the next day. What the hell did I just happen to me? And they won't buy another car for 10 years because it's going to take them 10 years to get over it. Now, if we send you a purchase order like this one, this is all your credit union is going to need. If you've applied and approved at a credit union for an auto loan, they can originate the loan with just this document, which we can email to you, or you can come in person and pick it up. The credit union will issue a loan to pay for the vehicle you're buying from us. This is a clean deal. It doesn't have a lot of junk fees added on. This is only one example. Yours would be specific, and it would include the VIN number of the vehicle you're buying and the odometer readings and stuff like that. But basically, you want to ask for a purchase order before you visit a dealership so you don't get railroaded and end up paying 3 times what you thought you were going to pay. You're going to be able to get the best car at the lowest payment, and you're probably going to know what your payments are going to be before you even start looking at cars. There's credit unions, banks, and finance companies, and if you go fill out a credit application at a dealership, you might be put with a finance company, which is almost like a loan shark. Not exactly, but the interest rates are much higher, so you'll be stuck paying your payments for a lot longer for a lot less car. So we want you to do some steps first before you head to the auto mall. Also, when you show your face at the car dealership and you signing loan agreements with the dealers and you're signing sales contracts or purchase contracts, you have to be careful. There are different kinds of contracts. The one you want to be signing is a simple interest or generic basic sale contract. What you have to watch out for are pre-computed interest rates. There are auto loans that are interest first auto loans. So if you sign your loan and think you're going to refinance, but you signed a pre-computed interest first loan, that means you may not be able to reduce the amount of interest you're paying. So you definitely want to make sure you sign a simple interest rate contract at the dealership when you buy your car. Now, if you buy it from us, you don't have to worry. So go to my website, mybestcar.com, and on YouTube it's spelled the same. The website is mybestcar.com, and on the website you can view all inventory. You can view our YouTube channel, 20 years of feedback reports, lender direct financing, vehicles on TrueCar, even eBay auctions. It will go here to cars.com listings. This is maybe where you want to go. and you can select the vehicle you might be interested in. Check the price. What is the price on the website? Click on it. See how the price compares to other vehicles, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute. Look at the Carfax report, and then as you browse around on the internet here on the website, you can see vehicles also in TrueCar, and there's a comparative analysis of prices, of how our prices compare with average. Keep in mind, a lot of the vehicles we sell are above average condition, have more than average options, maybe top of the line, fully loaded, have navigation systems, DVD entertainment systems, and assorted features that are above average, and that can make them a little bit more expensive because they have more bang for the buck. We also sell RVs, and if you want to see what we've been up to, you can just select view all vehicles and sort by body type: SUVs, in this case RVs and campers. And we're going through, we have 5 pages of RVs on here, and notice next to the price, if we don't have it in stock, it says sold, but the pictures are still viewable on the website too. For financing, we have lender direct referrals. We specifically recommend credit unions, like here's some of the better ones. Westcom is good, SunTrust is good. SunTrust is a neat one where they don't even necessarily need title to the vehicle. They'll just put the money in your checking account, and then you can pay for the vehicle that way. But there's other ways you can browse around. Look at the feedback here. So who are we? You can go back and look at 20 years of since we've been a member since 2001, so that's more than 20 years of reviews, 100% positive feedback. Likewise on YouTube, you can go on our YouTube channel, look at our different videos, and if you select to view videos, and then you can select the latest, popular, or oldest. Here's oldest, and that's videos from 14 years ago, still up on YouTube. So unlike maybe other dealers that change management every 5 years, we've been around for a long time, 25 years. So with 25 years in business, we know how to ship vehicles. Sometimes we ship them to us, sometimes we ship them to you. If you're sitting in the middle of some state, even Hawaii or some other country, we offer local delivery, international delivery. That's a flat rack with an RV on it. A flat rack is how you load a container ship with a motorhome. Of course, you can put it on the roll-on roll-off ships. We've done enclosed shipping of vehicles. If you need an estimate for shipping your vehicle, just call us between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. and we'll give you a good faith estimate about how much it's going to cost to ship the vehicle from us to you. Now, if you're in the middle of nowhere and you need to finance your vehicle, if you're not in California, just go on Google Maps, search for credit unions, find your area, and search nearby for credit unions. I'm doing it here for my area in Ontario, California area. And what do you know? Lots of credit unions are nearby. As you see on the screen here, we found Arrowhead Credit Union is one of the ones that popped up. I like Arrowhead Credit Union. I used to be a member. They have very good interest rates. So if I open up their website and go directly to Arrowhead Credit Union, of course you can go through your own credit union and check rates, see what they are. Here we go, 4.4% interest rate on an auto loan. You can get on their website and search for rates, see what loans rates are for autos, RVs, whatever you're buying, and sometimes they even estimate what your payments will be. Here, look, 4.49 to 23. This credit union offers tiered interest rates. So if your credit is healthy, you'll get a good interest rate, a really good one. But if your health of your credit is less desirable, they might still be able to finance you because they offer a higher rate if your credit is higher risk, but still that's going to be cheaper than going with a finance company. Here's another credit union, Altura Credit Union. They also have excellent rates, and they've treated our customers really well when they work with Arrowhead, but they're not the only credit unions. I showed you earlier how to go on my website and search for recommended lenders, but this is how to find it in your area. So if you're sitting in the middle of Texas or anywhere else in the country, search for credit unions the same way. Find one that you like near you and check what their rates are. Get pre-approved, and we'll give you a purchase order so you can pay for the vehicle through your credit union financing. Now let's talk about the government programs. This one, you want to go, if you're in California, go to driveclean.ca.gov, like I'm showing you who are on the internet. You go on the California State official website. Then you're going to search for incentives on the navigation bar on the top. And then you have a chance to enter your zip code. That's mine. Enter yours. Select used vehicle type, and then plug-in hybrid. Let's do plug-in hybrid. Plug-in hybrid and electric will get the same incentives. And then also check the box income-based incentives so you can see all the money. Look at the top right, $25,500 in potential incentives available. That's federal tax credit. $25,500. See right there? You've got power company rebates. You've got the Replace Your Ride program offered by South Coast Air Quality District. You've got all kinds of money. And we work with these programs so when you look at the price of the car, you can get money back as rebates, especially if it's a plug-in electrified vehicle. This is how you check. If there's no plug-in electrification, you might not get any, but you can still check on the driveclean.ca.gov website. This is where you go. So now we're going to go on the DMV website and calculate how much your registration fees are going to cost, and taxes. You can get a good idea. Go to DMV, go and calculate fees, and the easiest way when you're looking for vehicles is fees for a new vehicle. Even if it's used, use fees for a new vehicle to get you close. Then you can select the model year, the fuel type. Is it gas? Is it electric? Is it a plug-in hybrid? What is the purchase price you're paying? Let's say $20,000 or whatever it is. Enter a date in the future, not too far away. And then select the year. You have to type it in. This is a California government website, the DMV website. Select your county. Select your zip code. I'm putting mine, but you should be putting your zip code, because when the fees are calculated, they're based on the address you provide. We're going to talk about that a little bit more as we get along here. That's my zip code. Now, once the model year, so let's say it's a 2020, and we calculate the fees. So, sales tax on a $20,000 vehicle for my zip code is right there, and the registration fee calculation is right there. But if you enter your price of any car that you're considering buying and your information, the DMV's site will kind of calculate it. Now, sales tax, the DMV site messes up sometimes, so I recommend go to the CDTFA website, click on tax and fee rates and sales and use tax rates, because every time you have an election, the voters that live in your neighborhood choose yes or no on taxes. So the taxes all over the state of California and everywhere else are very different. So you can find out what your tax rate is, because it's based on the address you're going to provide where the vehicle will be kept. So let's say if you're in Kern County, they have as low as 7.25%. That's the lowest tax rate in the state of California. But what if you're in, say, El Monte? And El Monte has 10%, but some of LA County has 10.5% tax rate. So you have to see what your tax rate is based on your city or your county to calculate your out-the-door fees. And as a dealer, if we're going to calculate it, we need to know your address to run the numbers like I'm showing you here to find out what you're going to have to pay. It's up to between you and the state of California and your elections that you participate or don't participate in, how you decide what your tax rate is going to be. I'm entering in my address, and then this is finding a sales tax rate by address portion of their CDTFA website, and it actually shows a little map of the city and shows this whole city is 7.75%. And it can do that for anywhere in the state of California on the state of California CDTFA website. Now, modern vehicles are built by robots. Robot welders weld the bodies together and stamp out the parts, as you see here in the video. Most of the vehicles that you would possibly buy are built in a similar way, using robots to do all the welding and precision mechanical construction of the body. Now, this is a unibody you're looking at. A unibody stands for unitized body. It's the body structure. Once it comes out of the factory, anytime you do any damage to this portion of the car, then that's considered structural damage. Any bit of this, if you hit a post, you drill a hole, anything that's damaging this part of the body is considered structural damage, as opposed to a body on frame construction could be a frame damage, because it looks like a ladder frame. If it's damaged, that's frame damage. So we try to get cars that have not been any kind of serious or major accident of any sort. A little bit of scratch, a little bit of dent is almost inevitable. That's fine, but we don't sell major accident cars. We don't sell salvage title cars. We don't want to mess with that. The ladder construction or the unibody construction cars, we try to sell grade A condition vehicles in excellent shape. It's possible there could be a little bit of body work, so ask us on a case-by-case basis with each vehicle. We can check and see if we're aware of any body work. Also, the Carfax sometimes gives a clue, but the Carfax can throw you off, making you think it's worse than it actually is. So talk to us and get clarification if you have any concerns about any accident. Now, if your vehicle is delivered by a transport or the dealership across state lines out of California to a place other than California, and first use by you occurs outside the state of California, then the transaction may be exempt from California tax. Special conditions apply, and that has to be documented.